It's important to understand place value and the base 10 system and how numbers can be grouped and regrouped and still represent the same amount. So we're going to visit the Nuggets, which are a base 10 basketball team. And when they make a basket, they receive 1 point, 10 points, or 100 points, depending on where on the court the shot was made. So if they're really close and they throw a 1-pointer, they get 1 point. Or you might think of your base 10 blocks and it would be one little cube. If they get a little further away, let's say out here, and they are able to make a basket, they get a 10-pointer. And think of how 10 ones go together to make a 10. So we have our rod or our 10-pointer. And then if you're really far away, let's pretend that the person is way far away from the goal and they throw a shot that's really far. That point is worth 100 points or 10 groups of 10s. But what we want to do is show 3 different ways to make 100. And what I'm going to do is give you a few moments to think, and then I'm going to show you a few different ways with blocks on my own. But what I want you to do is pause the video and think about 100, and if there's different ways besides just using 100 ones or one 100 pointer. What are some different ways that you could make 100? So on a sheet of paper, write way 1, way 2, and way 3, and pause this video so that we can come back and talk about this together. With my document camera, I'm going to show you a few different ways that I can make 100. Right here is my block of DigiBlocks. This block represents 100, or you could also say it is 10 groups of 10. Inside each of these little cases, I have a group of 10. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Inside each of these, like I mentioned, is a group of 10. So the Nuggets basketball players could just score one 100-pointer and make 100 points automatically, just one group of 100. They could score 10 groups of 10 to make a 100. They could score, and this would take a really long time, score 100 ones, which means they would shoot 100 times and make 1 point each time. But is there another way to make 100 without it simply being one group of 100 or 10 tens, and we could do it like this: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, or 100 ones. And I'm not going to draw 100 of those, but you know it would take a very long time. So these are all different ways to make 100, but is there any other way? If you came up with another way, congratulations. I'm going to show you a few other ways that I came up with. What if, let's say we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So there's 60. And then if I broke all of these apart, and I won't take them out, but we'll pretend those are ones, and there's some ones, and here's some more ones, and here's some more ones. So one way to show 100 would be that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. Let's try this. So we could have 6 tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, we could count all of those, or 10, 20, 30, 40 ones to get 40. So we would have 60 plus 40, which is also a way to make 100. Can you think of any other ways? What if I only had 25? Is it possible to make 100 if I don't have a complete set of 10? If I want to make an even 100? Is that possible? It looks like we would still have to make a complete group of 10 somehow to get a complete 100. But I could continue to change this. I could have more 1s, I could have more 10s, I could have 7 groups of 10 and 30 1s. I could have 80 groups of 10 and 20 1s, or I could have 90 1s and only one group of 10. So there are many, many ways to make 100, and it's possible to regroup and build numbers as you go. And I'm going to build this back. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So now let's head back to the lesson, because there's some other things that I would like you to do after you make your different ways to make 100. What I would like you to do is really think about the big idea of this lesson. The same number can be shown in many different ways, and this is going to be important as you move into really adding and subtracting with larger numbers. 23 can be 2 10s and 3 1s. It can be 1 10 and 13 1s and still be 23, or it can be 23 1s. All of these show the same amount. It's also important to remember that 10 groups of 10 make 100. And as you progress through second grade, you'll realize that 10 groups of 100 make 1,000. Then 10 groups of 1,000 make 10,000. So, what I would like you to think about, and you can talk to your learning coach about this, it says John thinks that the only way the Nuggets could have a score of 100 is if they scored a 100 pointer. Is he correct? Show how you know. So using your own base 10 blocks or drawings, which you could use the sticks for 10s, the squares for hundreds, and the dots for 1s, prove whether John is correct or incorrect. Now, attached to this sheet, there is a practice exercise so that you can prove whether other people are correct in their thinking, and then show different ways to show 100 points. And to end, we're going to ask one final question. And your teachers may bring this up in their Class Connect sessions or in the next newsletter to show you some possible solutions. It says, during this exercise, use a dot to show 1s and a stick to show 10s. The Nuggets scored 92 points during their game. How could they have a score of 92? Show 2 different ways. Do you guys think that it's possible to get a 100 pointer if they only scored 92 points? What are some ways that they could score 92, and draw that out on a piece of paper or in your math journal and share that with your learning coach? I hope you enjoyed exploring place value, and I hope you watch the next video, which deals with even larger numbers.